Joe Biden was asked about his vaccine rollout plan, and here's how that, I think we're going to get a lot of exchanges like this, but here's how that exchange went.
You said you put the goal at 100 million vaccines.
Thank you, guys.
Is that high enough? Shouldn't you set the bar higher? That's basically where the U.S. is right now.
When I announced it, you all said it's not possible. Come on, give me a break, man.
Come on, you guys.
Mr. President, good start. 100 million. Thank you.
Let's go, Chris. Let's go. Come on, you guys. Let's go. Come on, thank you so much, you guys. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Please go this way. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
There you go. So he was asked about this plan to give 100 million vaccines, and the report was, well, maybe we should be giving more than that. Is that enough? And Joe Biden's answer is, come on, man, give me a break. And then he just gets up and leaves. That's why. That's the answer. Meanwhile, the media has consistently claimed that Biden is starting from scratch. He's talking about the vaccine rollout plan. Well, the claim that we've heard from the media many times over the last couple of days, and this exact phrase, they're starting from scratch because Trump hadn't done anything. Even though he had Operation Warp Drive, and it certainly seemed like there's plenty being done, but the media said no, nothing was done. Starting from scratch, he's got to do it all himself. Well, Dr. Fauci was asked about this at a press conference, and here's what he said.
Just ask you about the effort to distribute the vaccines, because of course that's what most people want to know. When are they going to get a vaccine? Is the Biden administration starting from scratch with the vaccine distribution effort, or are you picking up where the Trump administration left off?
No, I mean, we certainly are not starting from scratch, because there is activity going on in the distribution. But if you look at the plan that the president has put forth about the things that he is going to do, namely get community vaccine centers up, get pharmacies more involved, where appropriate, get the Defense Production Act involved, not only perhaps with getting more vaccine, but even the things you need to get a good vaccine program. For example, needles and syringes that might be more useful in that.
Yeah, by the way, it's Operation Warp Speed, I'm informed, not Warp Drive. Warp Drive, that's a little different. That's Star Trek, I think. So you get a little confused. Anyway, so not starting from scratch. There was obviously already something in place. But, so Fauci said that, but he also said something else, which is he was on CNN, I think a little bit later that day, maybe it was earlier in the day, same day, when he agreed that according to him, the supposedly the dishonesty from the Trump administration led to people dying. Let's listen to that clip.
So the White House released its new coronavirus strategy yesterday, and they came out with this 21-page summary of it. And the number one thing, the number one goal of the new Biden White House in terms of battling the pandemic is to restore trust with the American people. Why is it necessary to say that?
Well, I think that was really good making that number one, because what we've had, John, there's no secret. We've had a lot of divisiveness. We've had facts that were very, very clear, that were questioned. People were not trusting what health officials were saying. There was great divisiveness. Masking became a political issue. So what the president was saying right from the get-go, let's reset this. Let's everybody get on the same page, trust each other, let the science speak. And he said that multiple times.
Did the lack of candor, did the lack of facts in some cases over the last year cost lives?
It very likely did. I don't want that, John, to be a soundbite, but I think if you just look at that, you could see that when you're starting to go down paths that are not based on any science at all, and we've been there before, I don't want to rehash it, that is not helpful at all.
I don't want it to be a soundbite, but here's a soundbite. I don't want to give you a soundbite, but here's one. Of course that's a soundbite, and he damn well knows it. We want to talk about lack of candor. What about from Fauci himself, who was among the people early on saying you don't need to wear a mask? All of our sacred public health experts and officials, not just Donald Trump, early on saying you don't need masks. And now they say if you don't wear a mask, you're killing people. Now, I My personal opinion is that they were more right the first time. But according to what they're saying now, if you believe what they're saying now, then that means that people like Fauci and any other public health experts that don't wear a mask early on, they're responsible for killing people, according to what they're saying now. But of course, there's no accountability for that whatsoever.